Today's rant is brought to you by Purdue Pharma, the makers of Oxycontin. Oxycontin is a non-addictive drug. Just be very careful, because if you take it for too long, you may find yourself breaking into pharmacies, holding up convenience stores, and stealing things from your grandmother's house. That only happens in a certain percentage of the population, so the FDA has approved us as being a non-addictive drug. Alright, today's car rant it's about choices. And I know this is going to sound a little bit unusual because it's not directly related to addiction. We'll tie it into addiction toward the end of this thing, but there's more to me than the whole recovery thing. I'm a well-rounded individual. Alright, so here we go, choices. I was reading this book called The Organized Mind, and in The Organized Mind they talk about at the end of the Cold War, when a lot of people came from the Soviet Union to America, literally they would become overwhelmed when they went to the grocery store or when they went to the any kind of place to buy clothes, because they were so used to waiting in line and really being, they didn't have a choice. They would get up, they would buy one of two different things, this loaf of bread or that loaf of bread, and there was really no choice involved. And in America, in today's society, we can walk into a grocery store and we can have so many choices. You can just find yourself walking around in circles with your eyes glazed over. At least I can. And especially if you're trying to eat healthy. So my wife is like an expert food junkie, or whatever you want to call it. Like, she understands all the different chemicals and stuff like that goes into the food. She'll be like, don't eat this because it has like jet airplane fuel in it. Watch out for that ice cream, it has antifreeze in it. Watch out for this Chinese food over here, it has this stuff in it that makes you think that it's actually good and it's not. Sounds like she's describing some kind of freaking hallucinogenic drug or something like that. And so she'll send me to Whole Foods, right? And you get in there and it's like, first of all, if you've ever been to Whole Foods, the cashiers are the nicest people in the world. But the customers are all pissed off. And I think I know why they're all pissed off. Like, they're all walking around, kind of like they want to be earth conscious and sort of like hippied out and peace, loving, let me eat only certain types of meat or no meat at all or whatever it is. But I know what's going on. They're all stressed out in their head because they're all like, shit, I don't know what to buy. This stuff is too confusing. And my wife will be like, okay, you need to pick up some hand-ground, stone-ground Himalayan flour with no MSG or bat fuel in it, and it needs to be manufactured in the year 2016 of our Lord, and it has to be carted down the mountain by Himalayan rabbit midgets, and if it's that kind, you can buy it. Otherwise, don't get it. And I'll get to that aisle, and I'll be like, just stunned, because there's 250 different kinds of Himalayan rabbit midget oil, shuffleboard flour, and I'll be like, which one do I buy? Which one? What? And I'll stand there and I'll call my wife. I will call my wife an average of 17 times when I go to Whole Foods to pick up like 2 items. Like, my job will be to go in and get 2 things, and I will have to call her 17 times to try to make sure I get the right one. She'll be like, nope, can't get that one. That was not Himalayan rabbit midgets. They did not pick that. That's not who picked that one. You need to go back. That was Brazilian rabbit midgets. And so go back and get the Himalayan. I'll be like, oh man. And so my point is that sometimes we can have too many choices. There seems to only be 2 things that we don't have choice on in America. And I'm really not going to comment on one because it's kind of like not my area of expertise, but the other one is. We have no choice really on what school you go to if you're in the public school system. And then the second thing is, in other words, the school can suck and you still got to go there. The second thing that we have no choice in, and you knew that I was going to go here, is we really have no choice in drug and alcohol treatment services. It's a one-size-fits-all solution. So that's the only place where you will ever be able to go and not have to stand there and make 17 phone calls to figure out whether you need to get the Brazilian or the Himalayan coffee. Now, please understand, when I say that stuff, I'm not banging on any certain treatment program or any certain person who works in treatment. I'm just calling it like it is. And we all know it. We all know it. Everyone out there, you know it, and you're seeing it all over the media. Everywhere you look, people are talking about, why is it done only one way? Why 85, 90% of treatment centers, why are they only 12-step oriented programs? And the reason is because the people running the programs, that was their experience in recovery. And so therefore, if it worked for them, it's held sacred, and it needs to work for the world. So we have more choices on what kind of food we buy, on what kind of cars we drive, on what kind of clothes we buy, than on what type of treatment we're allowed to receive for this disorder, disease, syndrome, whatever you want to call it, this thing called addiction. So I hope people are able to be open-minded and kind of think that through a little bit, and really we need to challenge ourselves to become actually like truly client-centered, individualized services. What will work for you? All right, hope you stuck this one out. This is a little long. You have a wonderful day today, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.